It happened.
But it hasn't actually happened yet. So if you're watching this, that means the baby came. Yay! We'll get to see some footage of him in this video. We want to do a little name reveal because for us, naming our kids is like a thing. With Reagan, I announced her the same way. I announced her name reveal to announce her birth. My birth story probably won't come out for another like month or so. So if you have questions, drop them below. Backstory, we had our baby names picked out for years. We've been together all together for I think 9 years now.
I think so.
I don't know. We literally had our baby names picked out since like year 1 or year 2 because we both are technically, we were born Jewish.
We're technically Jewish. We were born Jewish.
Even though we have a Christmas tree and Christmas tree has a Buddha, everyone used to joke I'm religiously confused. Long story short, we did honor the Jewish tradition of naming after somebody who'd passed. We had 4 letters of loved ones who had passed from our family that we planned to use to name our kids after. Reagan, our daughter, is named after my dad, and her middle name, Moon, is for my grandpa. Name has a lot of other meanings too. So we always had boys' names and girl names picked out. We had our 4 letters, and we thought, when we realized we were having a boy years and years ago, we knew the name.
This is true. Oh, this is where I tell you what that name was. Okay, well, Noah Brooks. Noah Brooks.
Okay.
Noah Brooks.
Anyway, this was long before like Noah became the #1 name. Then a series of events unfolded over the last year, or 2 years, that just made using that name absolutely impossible.
Yeah.
We kind of talked a little bit about that when we did our gender reveal, and like I said, how I thought the boy had left us.
After a mourning.
There was a lot of mourning over that whole situation. Yeah. At that point, we just felt a total loss at what we were going to name this child.
Yeah, we were going through the alphabet at that point.
Decided to like say, you know what, let's ditch the initials.
Let's break ancestral wounds.
And he kept getting the hit for a strong
C.
He one day goes, Cappy. In my head, I kind of laugh because one of our favorite shows is Greek. And we basically watch TV shows like we are teen girls. There's a character named Cappy on the show. So I immediately laughed. Said to him, you know, if we go with Cappy, we're gonna have to name him Captain fully. At which point, I think you thought I was crazy.
I did. I thought you were. I didn't take you seriously at that point. We're gonna move this over.
That's not how you spell Cappy.
It's one way.
It's one way.
Which is the one you like most, Reagan?
It's always Cappy. Is it Cappy?
Of these, that's your favorite? Which is your favorite name? We'll put them all in a row.
Some permanent markers also strong.
Show Mama this.
She's like, no, Cappy's mine. What's the other choice?
Do you do Cappy or Captain? One.
I'm telling you, his name's Captain.
Yeah?
And we pretty much spent the next like 2 or 3 days being like, can you imagine Captain? Like, what would that even look like? What would that sound like? Why don't people do this more?
I went on forums.
We both did. We were researching
people named Captain and
why people didn't name their kids Captain.
And what their experience was with the name Captain.
And we would joke, and then we would just come up with all these scenarios.
Captain, if he was a pilot or joined the Navy.
But then we started finding all these beautiful jokes like, well, you know, he's gonna be a born leader. Like, who's gonna be the captain of the sports team, probably?
And it's just a name that makes you smile.
Yeah, we couldn't help but smiling. So it started off as a joke. He's freaking out about our dog, per usual.
Coda issues. We could have named him Coda.
Oh, no. We Googled what's wrong with naming your kid Captain. We know a lot of people aren't gonna like it. We honestly don't care because every time we said it over the course of that next week, it moved from a joke to just bringing so much joy. And it just felt so in line with what we both had always felt when he's come to both of us in visions and things like that. It has felt very in line with it. So we quickly realized there were a lot of pros to naming your kid Captain.
Yeah. And strong leader, also Quirky and funny.
Icebreaker, conversation starter. Well, before I get into the next part of his name, because there's two parts to his name. Like I said, the more we sat on it, the more we loved it. We loved the character Cappy from Greek. It was very in line with the vision what our
He
son
embodies
had.
a lot of the personality traits and characteristics.
Charismatic, out of the box thinker, super creative. And I also liked that Captain was a nod once again to my dad who passed away, because he's who taught me literally everything about boating. The anniversary of my dad passing away, I was looking through old Facebook photos of him, and somebody had commented on one of them. He was sitting in the captain's chair on our boat that we had growing up, and they said, "This is how he'll be remembered." Feels like a nice little personal nod still to my dad, even though we're not using any family initial with it. With Reagan's initial due date, it was my dad's actual birthday. I just want to talk a little bit about the magic of Cappy's dates. If you watch in our pregnancy vlog, I think 6-week vlog, he even said, I think in there, like, you always knew you were gonna get pregnant in September and have a June baby. Like, you always knew that. For me, I love Cancer boys. So when I got my due date of June 13th, I was like, nope, too soon. When they moved it to June 17th, I was like, nope, too soon. I knew he was gonna hold out and be late just like I was, because I was 5 days late to have a Cancer sun sign, just like me. There's also just something magical, because this month did take on a heaviness after my dad passed away on June 1st, especially because that year Father's Day fell on my birthday. There has just been this kind of heavy-heartedness to the month of June, so I feel like this is also just really exciting and freeing and healing and full circle-y.
And let's be real, at the end of the day, we're kind of non-traditional. So finding a name that was non-traditional truly felt an alignment. Also, one of my favorite movies, Dead Poet Society. Poem that empowers the class.
The Walt Whitman poem.
Oh, Captain, my Captain. And it's just so powerful.
And my dad would always make me watch old movies. And funny enough, that movie came out June 1989, which was the year and month I was born. So it just felt like this very full circle moment. Definitely had to get past the idea of what that poem actually stood for, and I kind of had to rewrite it in my head a little bit. I understand sacrifice needs to happen, but the idea of naming my kid after a poem that the person dies after an act of bravery didn't sit quite right with me initially. Let me take a deep breath, and instead I kind of rewrote it in the sense that we all go through mini death. Our parts of us have to die off in order for new growth to happen, and it doesn't need to be a literal death. It can be a figurative death, or a spiritual death, all those other types of things. So that's kind of how I wrapped my head around that. So on to the next part of his name. Still liked the N. In the Spirit Baby medium session, when we asked, is he okay being named Captain? She was like, yeah, but there is something about an N in that family tie though. And your grandpa was like one of, which is who the N is for. Your grandpa was like one of the most meaningful people.
Oh, 100%. I mean, he was just a quiet but strong, charismatic guy. He was one of those grandfathers that just imparted wisdom on you on a daily basis. He was driven by family and community, just a genuinely beautiful soul.
And his grandpa's name was
Nathan.
There was something about Captain Nathaniel that when
Captain Nathaniel.
we said it, we just fell in love with it. Nathaniel itself means God-given, so God-given leader is technically what his name means in the literal sense. And we just love that the name gives him so many opportunities to reinvent himself. Like if he wants to call himself Captain, he can. If he wants to go by Cappy, he can. If he wants to go by Nathaniel, Nathan, Nate, Nat, he can.
Aligning with that is my family is sort of traditional.
They're not going to call him Captain.
The likelihood is they may call him Captain to his face, but I don't see them wanting to tell their friends that that their grandchild's name is Captain. And so having a unique first name, a more traditional middle name.
Yeah, so exactly what I said. There's so many opportunities to just reinvent yourself and feel however you want to feel in it. Of course, because once again, we love our teen girl dramas. One of our all-time favorite characters next to Cappy from Greek is
Nate Archibald.
I was going to go with
Okay,
Nathaniel.
Nathaniel.
Nathaniel Archibald, and trust us, the irony is not lost on us if you have watched Gossip Girl about the feud between Nate and the captain, his dad, which I don't know, we both thought was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Nate's character on that show, he had like the best character arc development. But what we really love about Nate is, once again, breaking ancestral ties, breaking ancestral wounds. We love that his character just was like super loyal to his friends, had such a strong moral compass, was both charismatic. He made mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Everyone messes up.
And he had a number of death and rebirths throughout his existence as well.
Captain Nathaniel Drysdale, we love you.
Welcome to the world.
We hope you love your name as much as we do.
You have optionality if you don't.
And we love you.
Love you.